This happened today. My girlfriend, 19F, texted me that she was nearby, and I was prepared to greet her and walk along, since she was going the same way, knowing it would be a bit awkward with my mom. Conversation wise, you know how it is. My mom however told me to go ahead and greet her, and that she would be waiting at the end of the street. It turns out she was going near the shop we were going, so I told her we would catch up with my mom and walk together. We met our mutual friend, 19 meters, along the way, and were just walking. We met my mother at an intersection and my girlfriend was walking up while smiling at her. We stood next to each other for a minute, then my friend shook my mom's hand and my GF proceeded to do the same with another smile. I thought nothing of it, but my mom just suddenly said that she'd be going home instead. I insisted on her staying, since my GF would be going to her own plans in like 5 minutes of walking. She just said it again and went home, and I just thought she didn't want to make anything awkward and told me to check the shoes and call her about it. After like 20 minutes I finished everything and went home only for her to rage out. She said nothing was my fault, but she feels highly disrespected by my girlfriend. Because she didn't say good day, she just shook her hand. Note, in my country, and in our language, it is considered a polite way of greeting someone's parent or someone in general. She also says that she only did it when my friend did it first, which she did, but she greeted her normally and all. I think she would have done it anyways. She said that my GF was looking at her from above, as in that she thinks she's below her, and that I shouldn't mention her to her again, and that she felt extremely disrespected. My girlfriend isn't like that, and I know she doesn't look at anyone in any way, but she won't listen to me. From my POV it just looked like a normal smiling handshake. They both looked normal and all. I didn't expect it to escalate to something like this. What should I do? Is this considered my girlfriend being rude? Edit. Hello. Thank you for so many replies and pieces of advice. For some time I honestly thought I was going insane with all the shit she had pulled, but now I see how it looks to so many other people. This isn't the first time she has caused an incident simply out of spite. There have been numerous times when I would stay over at my girlfriend's place. She would request messages that I'm fine every 1 hour. Also had a lot of arguments about me just saying I'll sleep over. It wasn't announced before I left the house or a certain time it isn't allowed. A lot of time she would send guilt tripping messages about me being out all day and being a piece of shit and such. No need to get into it, I guess. She also once saw an ad on her phone about the GPS locators for families, those stupid apps, and when I absolutely refused to let her control me like that, I have never given her a reason to doubt me, nor do I lie about my whereabouts or who I'm with. She lost it. There have been a lot of things like these that I have chosen to forget. I have read all of your messages and I fully understand them and agree to everything that I have read. I've seen a bunch of Grey Rock Method messages and I'm willing to try this out. It really looks like the only thing I can do in this situation. Talking to her won't help. I understand the point of view when I read that I should talk to her, but unfortunately it seems like I'm not dealing with a rational person. I know it would turn into a big argument. It could possibly turn physical. Therefore I will not bring the subject up again. As for my girlfriend, I just came back from seeing her. She's okay and I have explained to her that I'm going to make sure she never sees my mom again, as I was doing before. I fully understand that she is not guilty of anything. I haven't said anything like that or blamed her. I'm ready to protect her from my mother, since I do plan a life with her. Simply put, I'm going to isolate my mother from every single event in my life, because I cannot take the damage her selfishness brings. As for cutting her out of my life, it is currently not a possibility, but I will be working on it. It hurts to even write it out, because it's my own mother, but I'm not willing to give up what I have because of her. She is unemployed, and has been, since I was born. I have no other family except my grandma. She is even worse than this one, and I live with both of them currently. I'm finishing up school at the moment, and then moving to another country to work. We agreed that I would help her move to and get her own job. However, I have not specified that I will be leaving her on her own after all of that, and I intend to keep it that way. If anyone has had to cut their parents off for similar or other reasons, I request that you please tell me what it's like. I just want to see how you felt and how it's going to feel. I didn't expect this to gather so many people, but thank you. You have helped clear my mind. Shaking hands is plenty polite enough. Your mom is being ridiculous. Edit. I don't know why I'm still thinking about this, but it actually infuriates me. My partner has some social anxiety, and if my mother treated her like this after only meeting her a couple times, I would be livid. Expecting prim and proper is fine, but judging the poor girl because she didn't use over the top courtesy is wild. Thank you for your reply. The edit is something I relate to on a big level. I'm livid too, as she has social anxiety as well. I'm planning to cut my mother off. It's not going to be anytime soon, since I need to stabilize my income and move away, but it will happen. I'm protecting my relationship and keeping my GF away from my mother. To be blunt, your mother's reaction is bizarre, inappropriate and over the top. I'd be taking a time out from my relationship with my mother if she acted like that. It's really difficult, since she's emotionally abusive, and she's always near me, since my living space is small, so I have no space for peace and to step away from her. But I really want to. Is this considered my girlfriend being rude? It is clearly seen that way by your mother, which seems bizarre to me. I'm suspecting your mother was looking for fault, and was predisposed to find fault, perhaps where there was none. Was this their first meeting? Which country? Not a first. I have written in a comment above about their other 2 meetings. Serbia. Is this your first girlfriend? Has she treated past girlfriends this way? You might have one of those moms that will create issues with any girl you're with because she doesn't want you away from her. My first. We've been dating for 3 years. Most of the things she said so far about her aren't that positive. She's extremely judgmental in my opinion. My GF hasn't done anything bad to my mom directly, or has anything to do with her. She has been nothing but polite. Something is off with your mother. She's making a whole lot out of nothing. I don't even know where she drew her conclusions from. If you've been dating for 3 years, has anything like this come up before, ever? This seems way too weird to be an isolated incident. When they first met, she made a comment on how she seemed pretentious when she literally smiled and introduced herself as best as she could. We were 16 over 17, and she was really shy. She was polite and said nothing bad. It angered me even then. I just kept insisting she isn't like that and that she's talking nonsense. Sounds like your mom is jealous that she's not the main woman in your life. I recommend you Google *emotional incest and see if any of that resonates with you and your mother's relationship. Your mom is just being a pose. I doubt your GF could do anything to make her happy, so my advice is to ignore what she has to say about your relationships as much as you can. I will. I'm trying. I was just really taken aback because this is ridiculous. Your mother is just angry that she didn't throw herself on the ground claiming she wasn't worthy of being around such greatness. Tell your mother to get over herself. This is the kind of thing where you need to mention what country you are in. People from other countries can't tell you what is and isn't rude where you live, and by default, you are going to get mostly Americans responding. I'm from Serbia, as I mentioned in a comment above. It is polite to say good day, however it is by no means any sort of tradition. Other people would have been satisfied with the handshake. She is being unreasonable. So not saying good day is disrespectful, but abandoning her child and their plans to go shopping isn't? Unfortunately you won't really get good advice here, because people that act like your mother also don't respond well to reason, or really anything that isn't 100% their way. Exactly. She overreacts to everything that isn't 100% her way. She often offends me on levels, just for not doing something she wanted done that day. We went shopping for a whole hour before. She wanted to go to another mall further away, to which I suggested another day. I have finals, so it's best that I get to that a bit every day, and she of course got angry. So not to get into any arguments, I eventually agreed to go, and then all of this happened. I'm still extremely angry. Your mom needs to get over herself. Sounds like mom doesn't want you to have a GF. Some moms have a hard time when their sons start dating. Your mom's ridiculous. I cut my parents out of my life for this type of behavior. It kept building up to more and more issues, all because they never were happy for me and my partner. I ended up getting married without telling them. Protect your relationships from her. She may try to ruin them in the future. Sounds like typical narcissist mother behavior. Instead of being excited to meet her child's partner, she makes a brief interaction all about herself. You mention in the comments that your mother is emotionally abusive. Since you're an adult now, it's time to start thinking about putting distance between yourself and your mother. Surprise twist. Your mom is the one who looks at everyone from above, and you are just now realizing it as she whines that your girlfriend didn't grovel properly. Don't let your mom's problem become your problem. If she decides to be unhappy, that's on her. You can waste your whole life trying to help people who are determined to be unhappy whenever they don't get their way, and all you get for it is wasted time. Your mother sounds like a fucking nightmare. Stick up for your girlfriend. No girl will ever be good enough for her precious son. The sooner you figure this out, then you will understand what actually happened. Your mother is in love with you. She's jealous and possessive, and treating you like a husband who is flirting with other women. Your mom is gross. I think you should remind your mother that you are not her husband and to stop being so jealous. Honestly, we are still in a pandemic. I would not have shaken anyone's hand. Your mom is just looking for problems. This is your mom having an ego fit and making up a story in her mind. Does your girlfriend know the custom of your country? Meaning, is she a native born or foreigner? If she's a foreigner, you can't hold it against her. When I visited other countries, I did my best to learn some basic customs, but then again it's not what I grew up with, so have to give some flexibility and really tell your mom to calm down. Now, if your GF is native born, and she's aware of the custom for courtesy and respect, then yeah, she messed up, but I wouldn't say it warrants a fit that your mom is throwing. Ultimately, your mom is making it a bigger deal than necessary. If she isn't getting mad at your friend, but at your GF, then I'm going to take it a step further and say she has issues with you having a GF. The first time my dad met my now fiance, been together almost 13 years now, he was absolutely pissed because he felt disrespected by my fiance. Reason was he came over to my dad's house where I lived at the time, said hello and everything was good, but after hanging out with me for a while he left. My dad was down in the basement doing something when he left. My dad raged and said my fiance was absolutely disrespectful because he didn't go find my dad to say bye to him before leaving. I don't actually speak to my dad anymore now, as of about 2 years ago. Parents can be so ridiculous. I don't think your GF is in the wrong at all. Sorry to say, but your mom has a big ego. What if your GF was nervous? She still shook her hand. Your mom seems like the type of mom that would want her asterisk kissed by the daughter-in-law and throws a fit when doesn't. Sorry, I agree with your mom being ridiculous. Your mother wants something to complain and control you with. Does your mother show other tendencies where she overreacts? What culture are you in that she thinks a happy greeting isn't enough? Sounds like your mom expected this other human to kiss her feet and grovel. Ridiculous. Just for what it is worth op, many of us in this forum come from different cultural backgrounds. We are not equipped to talk to the cultural norms in your country, particularly if you do not include where you are. From what you described, I do not see anything rude from your girlfriend, but I can only review what you have shared, and through my own cultural background. Within my context, your mom seems to be behaving in an immature and insecure way. If that is true, that is her problem and something you may find difficult to fix, as we can only control our own conduct. But the way I would think to address it is head on, by standing up for your girlfriend, and saying you did not see any disrespect, and to question your mother, if that is really the only reason she is upset. Alternatively, I'm not sure if this is good advice, but it is advice. You could tell your mother she is behaving immaturely. That as the adult, she should lead by example, and that she is failing in that duty and behaving immaturely. No, sounds like your mother is a demanding person who is trying to put a wedge between you and your girlfriend. Given it sounds like they don't know each other well, sounds like your mom thrives on drama and being in control. The answer is, don't listen to your mother, she isn't well in the head. If this offended her this much, don't listen to her in general, or you will end up single waiting for her to decide who is the perfect partner for you. I won't listen to her. Thank you for your reply. My girlfriend and I are doing pretty well, and I intend to keep it that way. I will apologize to her for my mother's behavior also. Your mom was looking for something to criticize. A lot of mothers seem to do that as a way of trying to control the interaction. She will probably do this with anyone you date. Your girlfriend sounds quite lovely. Keep an eye out for your mom trying to put a wedge between the two of you.